Hi there, this is Tammy. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you like what you'll see and that you'll return. And if you're returning, thank you so much for returning. I enjoy sharing my crafty habits with everyone, and I have a lot to share today. So my videos are primarily about cross stitch, although, and I know I keep saying this, in the future they will have more than just cross stitch, which today I do have some things that are not cross stitch that I'll share at the end. I do a lot of other crafts, or I used to do a lot of other crafts, and I'm getting back to them. I had a finishing business in 2024 that I ended at the end of 2024, and now I will have a lot more time to do things I want to do as I can do them. I stopped the business because of some health issues, so those will still get in the way of some of the stuff I want to do, but I'm going to try to persevere because, as you'll see, there's a lot going on that could be going on. So today I have some finishes, new starts, and some whips, and then I have a stack of finishes I want to share with you that have not been fully finished, that need to be fully finished, and a couple other things, a couple other fun things. So I'm going to get started. I will start with my finishes. Let me see, I have too much stuff, so it's mess everywhere, and I didn't get my board, and I can't reach one from here. Oh well, I'll use this. This will work. This is some paper. So the first thing that I finished is called Hot Cocoa is Calling, and it's just a tiny little, it's kind of blown out, hard to show you. I think I paid for this chart, but it's really weird, so I don't know if I got it at the craft store. It's one page with this tiny little photo. So it's called Hot Cocoa is Calling, and it's by Cherry Hill Stitchery. It's stitched on 32 count Lugana by Bestitch Me in the color of cinnamon. This was one of my Advent starts for 2023, and I finished it in my Advent whips in 2024. Actually, I'm going to just use the cardboard because there would be shine on that paper, which would not be a good thing. So this is Hot Cocoa is Calling. I love this. It's all with the called for EMC. It was a fun stitch. I have not figured out how I'm going to finish it, so we'll see. And my next finish was also a new start. This was a pattern that was in our Stitchy group, did our own Advent, and this was one of the things that we received. It's a pattern by Susan Aki, and it's called Stitchy Pocket Watches. This is a snowflake. So this would have been a free pattern that Deanne found somewhere. It's tiny. She kitted it up. Oh, I can't find it. She put it in one of the little square jewelry boxes. It's about this big with a zipper around it. It was really cute. So here, I'm not going to use the cardboard for that. This is the little snowflake. This looks like it's on 18 count. She gave us the red floss. I don't know what color it is. She gave us only enough. And I haven't decided how I'm going to finish that one. Let's see what's next. I was going to tell you my statistics for 2024. Got ahead of myself. I had 70 new starts. 18 of those were in December. Part of them were Advent and others were in December. I go a little bit crazy. Last year in December I did 35, I think. So I had 70 new starts. I had 32 finishes. I had 14 things that I fully finished for myself, and 78 that I did for others in my finishing business. So it was a total of 92 fully finished items. That was a lot. It was kind of overwhelming, and I'm kind of glad that I'm done with the finishing, also because of time, because it did take a lot of time. In November I had 22 things to finish, and 2 of them did not get done in November. But, so, those were my stats. Sorry. Now, back to the regularly scheduled program. In December, I had 7 new starts, and I will show you those. The first one is another was an Advent gift. This is called Christmas Eve Salt Box, and it's by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting, and it's on 32 count linen by Tabby Cat that's called Through the Looking Glass, and this was from Elise. Let's see. I'll have to show it to you back here because it's only the chart. There's not a picture. And here is how far I am. I'm working on the house. This is a fun stitch, and I love that it's got Santa and his reindeer going over the top of the house. Let's see. The next one that I did was a new start. I was going to wait for Christmas Day. That's not when I started this. This is Lear's Macaws by Lindy Stitches. There's Macaw. Lear's Macaw. But there's 2 of them on there. My husband loves these birds. I love them too. I think they're beautiful. But he used to actually have 2 of these. And I didn't put the date on here. I have to go back and look. I think it was like December 23rd. This is on 32 count linen. That's Vintage Blue Whisper that I got from 123 Stitch. And I have a smallish start. I'm starting in the bottom left. And there's my little start. This light is like not helping. So this one it's fun to stitch. This is part of the Endangered Species Club that Lindy Stitches is doing. And they are fun to stitch because there's blocks of stitching, which I like that kind of stitching. The next new start was totally unplanned. On a whim, I rejoined the Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Quarterly Club, and this was what came in December. I'll show you the bag, project bag. It's a big one, which when I used to do Stitch Quarterly, the project bags were smaller. So this is a normal size, and it's good size because I can put all my Q-snaps in it. And this is the pattern. It's called 'Tis the Season, and it was a complete kit. Gingerbread house. And it's been pretty fun to stitch so far. I started on the border, and then I'm doing some of the words. I don't think I need to. So that's just the top. The border is a square. So it says 'Tis the Season. So I started at the top. This fabric is 14 count Aida that's from Fiber on a Whim. It's called Pistachio. So it's a green. My next new start was one of my, for Advent, the 12, I had 8 new starts and 4 whips. So this was a new start, and this is called Twisted Christmas Sampler, and it's from Northern Expressions Needlework. Let's see. I have a tiny start on this one because I got sidetracked. I got quickly sidetracked and moved on to something else. I started in the upper left. So that's that. And this fabric is by Bestitch Me. It's 36 count linen, and it's called Luna Moth. And it's a green. It's kind of hard to see the color here, but it's a beautiful green color. For somebody who doesn't like green, I shouldn't say I don't like green, it's just not one of my favorite colors, but I seem to stitch on it a lot. The next one was an impulse start because I was cleaning some stuff out and came across this. Last summer, Luminous Fiber Arts did a mystery box, and all we knew was that it would be a bird theme. And this was one of the projects that was in it. It's called Needleworker. It was a complete kit. I think it's really cute. It comes even with the buttons. And so I started this one the other day. Let's see, put that there. The fabric is 32 count Lugana called Bee's Knees from Seraphim. This is my little start, and it came with this needle minder. Started in the bottom left with that border, and then I went from the border, I went the other way, so I'm doing the words needle worker. That's kind of fun to stitch. See if this is going to stay or if my whole pile is going to collapse on me here. Might stay. Okay, I have one more new start, and then I have 2 whips. So this one is, you may remember in my last video I showed you this magazine that Carolyn gave me. It's a leopard, and I don't know, on the front it says Wild at Heart, but then when you, I don't know what page it's on because I made a working copy, but page 10. It's a Hannah Dale design from Bothy Threads. I love her art. Hannah Dale is an artist. It's called Majestic Leopard. So Bothy Threads takes Hannah Dale's artwork and makes it into beautiful cross-stitch patterns. You may remember I have a giraffe one that I'm working on that was a kit I bought from Bothy Threads. This is a tiny little start because, again, I got sidetracked by something else. This is also 32 count Vintage Blue Whisper by Belfast. It's a Belfast linen. It's the same fabric that my blue gold macaw or my blue macaws are on. So you might not even be able to see this. It's right here, tiny, tiny little start. But it's going to be fun to stitch on. So those are all of my new starts. Yeah, that's the bottom of the pile. Those are all of my new starts since too much stuff. Since my last video. I have 2 whips. Get those. The first one you saw last time as a new start. This is Old St. Nick, and this is out of the February issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. It's the one that had the I think it's February. It's the one that had the little kitten in a slipper that I did earlier this year, and it's a tiny picture. So that's Old St. Nick. I started him on linen and I ended up on Ada. It is 14 count vintage taupe Ada that came from Hobby Lobby, I'm sure. This guy is almost done. I was working on him last night hoping I was going to finish him, and he didn't get done. So is this better if I... That's better. So maybe tonight or tomorrow. He'll be done soon. What's left is his face, and then he has a bag of goodies behind him, and I haven't stitched the bag of goodies. He's pretty fun to stitch on, and it's hard to see in the video. I like this fabric because it's mottled, the vintage taupe. So that is Old St. Nick. And I thought I had another whip. Let me see. Oh, only one that's an actual whip. Okay. I confused myself. So that's all of the stitching that I've been doing, which is quite a bit. The next thing I want to show is something I did that it's stitching related. I have had these 2 jewelry boxes for at least a year, maybe longer. I bought both of them on Amazon. I didn't know how I wanted to make a stitchy box, and when I didn't know what I was going to do with either one of them once I made them a stitchy box. So I finally decided on this one to go in my travel bag. So this is my stitching kit for travel, and this is what it looks like inside. I went very simple, so I put fabric in the bottom. Take some stuff out so you can see. I put fabric in the bottom, and then I put fabric on the back, and I just added this lace, and that's all I did. Well, I took out the other innards. And so this goes in my stitchy box, and it has my Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit stitch guide. Is that what they call them? It's a 3-inch, so you can figure out where to start. Has some needles. Has my little Ort thing that I made a couple of years ago. And then it has scissors and more needles. And this thing, there's like a hair or something in there, something weird. This thing came from, oh, I think it's glue. Julie, who was stitching with Jane and Julie, running with scissors, she teaches Hardanger, and she had her own shop. Now all of her stuff is available at Welcome Stitchery. But this was in her shop. This is wool, I would like to say wool applique, but she didn't applique anything on it. She just put 2 pieces together. But it came with this needle threader, and it came with this tool, which is for if you have short tails on the back. It's a needle that's put on backwards, and you can run it through to tie your tails. And then it came with this, which is, it's for unpicking, for frogging, and it's, both of these have frogs on them, so that's cute. And then I put in a snag nabbit, and so this goes in here and fits nicely. And I have more needles, and so that is my travel stitchy box. And then the other one, I was trying to decide what to do with it. Trying to figure out where I'll put that now. And I haven't, this one I'm not gonna decorate the outside, I don't think. If I find a pattern that I like that will go nice on here, I will stitch something for the outside. But because this is for travel, it's gonna get banged around, and I don't want to put something on it that'll get messed up. And in that note, I'm considering making a little drawstring bag for it to stay in, because Sherry Colorado Cross Stitcher, on one of her videos, she talked about her stitchy box that went places with her. It got worn on the edges pretty fast. So I might make a drawstring bag for that out of the same fabric that I used on the inside. This one sits by my stitchy chair, which is fun. It's much better than what I had there, so I could put something on the back of it, and I have one of my whips might work. So this is the inside of it. It's pretty much the same, except I left these hooks at the top. On the other one I took them out. And this is fun fabric, and I use this lace. And these will hold my glasses and all of my fun stuff. The other one won't hold glasses. So that's my second stitchy box. It sits next to my chair. Let's see. Now I want to show you, I have a stack of things that I finished in the last year or two but did not get fully finished. And I apologize ahead of time, I will not know the fabrics on most of these, and I may not know the pattern name. This one is a Prairie Schooler, and I think it's called Christmas Eve. And this one, my plans for it are to put it on a wood block the way that Julie does, Stitching with Jane and Julie, which they have a new channel. It is called Floss Paper Scissors, and it's she and her daughter Catherine, and they are very fun to watch. I'll link them down below. If I could find a pencil. There's a pencil. I need to write that down. Okay. The next one is on 18 count Ada from Millennial Fabrics. It's called Sully, and the pattern is Liberty Word Swap by Stitching with the Housewives. I finished this in July. It was a lot of fun to stitch, and it was a quick stitch. This fabric is beautiful. It's a purple mottled fabric, but I thought this went nice on there. Next up is Bee Farm from Erin Elizabeth Designs. It's on 28 count even weave diminuendo by Grace Notes Fabrics. I finished this in July also, and This was a stitch along that I don't know if I did it with the stitch along. I'm not sure. Helen D collaborated with Paisleys and Polka Dots, and I have the finishing piece for this, so I just need to finish it. Liberty, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. I don't know. And so this is Bee Farm. This one was a lot of fun to stitch, and I stitched it in a couple of days, I think. Let's see if I can. Fabric is a pale green, but it's not really showing any of the color on there. Another green one. This one is 16 count fabric. I do not know what the fabric is. You can let me know if you need to know. It's a neutral fabric, 16 count. Looks like 16 count Ada. Like maybe from Fiber on a Whim, maybe not. It's a mottled. And this is from either Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage Needleworks. I think it's Little House Needleworks. They have a series of these little shops. This is Quilt Shop. This is really cute. I have not figured out how I'm going to finish this. I have a ton of finishing pieces that I picked up during the last year for ideas for finishing for others. So I'm hoping that going through these and looking at them, then when I go through and organize those, I'll get some ideas of how to finish some of this stuff. Some of it might be pillows, I'm not sure. Maybe one or two pillows. This one I cannot remember what it's called. It's by Luminous Fiber Arts, and it is on, I think it's Luminous Fiber Arts. It's on a 32 count Lugana, I believe. Bluebird Salute, something like that. This was fun to stitch. This fabric is a very pale peachy color. The next one I think is called Red, White, and Blue, and I cannot remember the designer name, and the white part is hard to see. This is also on a 16 count Ada that looks like it's Fiber on a Whim. Excuse me. My voice is not cooperating with me today. Red, White, and Blue. Sorry, none of these are ironed. This was a fun, quick stitch. Some of these I have fabric pulled out to go with them, and I don't remember what my plan was at the time. This next one was a free chart that I think Elise gave to us last year or something. And it is stitched on 14 or 16 count Ada. That's a, I think, vintage Blue Whisper. It's a flag. This was a fun stitch because, oh, this isn't the one. One of the flag patterns she gave us, the red, was a different stitch, but this was still a fun stitch because I love doing patriotic. So I'm not sure how I'm going to finish that one. Next up is called, the name of it is June Freebie. It's from an Erin Elizabeth Designs. And it was a free pattern. It's purple, so I love it. I am stitching it, I stitched it on 18 count Ada that I dyed myself. It's just a purple color. And this I finished in August. This was one of my, it was started in April of 23, and I finished it in August this year, which is ridiculous because it's tiny. It's only tiny. So I don't know how I'm going to finish this. Maybe as an ornament. Not sure. Only a few left of these. This one is a tiny modernist that's called Stitch Together. I love this pattern. I have considered restitching this to give to a friend, changing the colors because it's got, I love it purple and yellow, but I thought I might change the purples to a different color for someone I'm thinking about. It's stitched on 32 count Lugana. That's Portobello by Bestitch Me. And I love this. Do not know how I will fully finish it. As you know, I like to finish on wood pieces, so as you can see there, that's a wood piece. There's a framed one over there. There's a frame, that's a shadow box behind me. But I do like to finish on wood pieces. Next up is a Max Pigeon design. It's called Fox and Butterflies, and it's out of his book. Can't remember what the book is called. This is stitched on 40 count linen, vanilla cream by Atomic Ranch. And I love this guy. I love foxes anyway. And he is just so cute. I have no idea how I'm going to finish him. He's pretty small. If I can get my hand in there, see? He was fun to stitch and went pretty quick on 40 count. Sorry I had to stop and start again, which you'll just see a weird break. This next one is from the Acorn Gathering from last January. Every January, Acorns and Threads does an event on the last Sunday of January that's called the Acorn Gathering, and it's a mystery designer. The designer for this one was Fox and Rabbit. So the fabric is from them. I don't remember the name of it. My little card is not here. I think mine's on 36 count, but it might be 32 count. I used all the called for, except, because you get the whole kit, except I changed the girl's dress, and I don't usually stitch people. I do not like people in my designs, but I stitched this as is. So I changed her dress to purple. I love the little squirrel. I do like stitching houses. So this one was fun to stitch. Don't know how I'm going to finish that one. And the last one of my recent finishes from the last year or so. This is called Enchanting Winter. This is by Shannon Christine Designs. This was, I don't know when I finished it. This was one of my 12 by 12 from 2022. And it's on a 14 count navy Aida. And it is beautiful. Has beads, lots of beads, which you can't really see, but all this stuff in these trees is beads. This was so much fun to stitch, even though it was on a navy. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I don't think any of these will get framed. None of them are that big. Most of the frames I have are 8 by 10 or bigger. Sorry, my voice is not cooperating with me today. So next up, what I have to show you is some old finishes that need to have something done with them. This one I stitched for my father in 1982. I signed it, that's how I know that. This is a German Shepherd. It's on 14 count. It's not Aida. Looks like it might have been Huck weaving fabric, but it is not Aida. This guy is already mounted on sticky board. I just should stick him in a frame. Or I could unmount him and do something else with him. This one, I don't have anything to put behind. Oh, I'll use this. This one was meant to be a necklace. This is cross stitch. I think there might have been some heart hanger in the pattern book, but I had a necklace I was going to put this on. I don't know what happened to the necklace, but this is a little heart wreath. This is old. This is 30 some years old. And, well, if this one's from 82, how many years ago is that? That is a lot of years ago. Yeah, so this is on probably a 28 count linen. Maybe 32. I don't know. It's really old. I forgot I had it. I had this stack of finishes. This one, I have no plans to do anything with this. I'm not sure why I stitched it, except I think at the time I was stitching everything in the book. I did something else in the book that I gave to my sister, which was a hutch. Don't know who the book was by. This is also on sticky board. This is just a mailbox. So I don't know what to do with this. It doesn't appeal to me, but I did take the time to stitch it, so I've just hung on to it. And the last thing that I stitched that needs to be finished, this is needlepoint. And I actually taught a class with this at, there used to be a shop in Newburgh that was called Threads and More. And she started the shop because she taught Brazilian embroidery, which she did teach me, and I have one that I love. Sad that I only have one, but I've done several ring bearer pillows for wedding gifts. So she let me teach needlepoint classes, and this was one of the ones I taught. And I've never done anything with this. I don't have any place to put decorative pillows, so I should frame this. It's been it's not straight on the edges. It's just been in a baggie for 40 years. But I do like it. It's got many different stitches, which made it really fun. I think I just recently got rid of that book. Now I have some that I did not stitch, but they're fully finished anyway. These two my mother stitched. And Mom stitched this one in 1986. My mom has been gone since 1993, I want to say. This is so cute. There was a whole line of these, like a whole book of these cutesy little patterns, and Mom loved stitching them. And I think I got this from her stuff after she died. I got a lot of her craft stuff, but it had never been fully finished, framed. She even signed it right there. It says, by Joyce. My mom's name was Joyce in 86. I love that little puppy and the little girl. So I need to do something with this one. I should frame it and give it to my daughter is what I should do. And then Mom also stitched this one, and I could, well, so the fabric this was a cream or ecru fabric to begin with, and it's got what looks like a few rust spots on it, but I should frame it also because my mom stitched it. She stitched this one in 1990, and I love these pandas. So this one I really need to fully finish, probably frame and hang it somewhere. And then the next three, or the last three, my friend Cindy, who is in our stitch group, had this stack of finishes that someone she used to know loved to stitch but didn't have any place to put their fully finished, or to put things when she finished them, so she was giving them away. And Cindy brought these to one of our stitch groups and asked if any of us wanted them, and I chose a couple. So this is the first one. You'll see why I chose it. Big cats. And it looks like it could be finished in a round. Light's being weird. This is on an antique, it looks like an antique linen. Antique weight. It's very fun. Oh, I should look at, Helen D does a lot of stuff in the round, and there's a place that she gets frames from, mail order, that does round frames. I need to decide measure what size that needs to be, and because sometimes like there'll be decorative pieces at Hobby Lobby or Joann's. This next one I liked just because of the colors and the it's got butterflies in it. It just is fun. It says, we share with all who stitched before and those who follow after, birds and flowers, peaceful hours, sunshine, tears, and laughter. This person stitched this it says worked in 2002. I don't know who she was. Same one from the, whatever those big cats were. This one is really pretty. I should have this one framed so that you can see like the details in it. And this one is on a neutral linen. And the last one of those was also worked, this was worked in 2005. Her initials are SVK. That's all I know about the lady. But I thought this one was cool. It says, the day star turns in its shining face to warm the earth with flowering grace. Again, butterflies, pretty colors. It's got a big button on it. So I didn't stitch this. This was a gift from someone who didn't want to finish it. Look at that big button in the middle. So I don't have a lot of space, a lot of wall space. I've never hung anything in my bedroom. I could put some stuff in my bedroom. So that's all of the finished items that need to have something done with them. It's a lot. I don't know how long this video is because I had to stop because of the dog, so I apologize for the length of this video. I only have one thing to show for recent purchases. I was in this year the Silver Needle, who I think they're in Oklahoma. They did a Stitcher's Circle. Every other month you received a kit in the mail. And the one this month is by the Drawn Thread, and it's called a Stitcher's Garden Pincushion. So this is it. Very pretty. And it comes with fabric and thread and what is that? Beeswax Bliss Floss Conditioner and the buttons that you need for it. And then it also comes with some little goodies. So there's some jelly beans there. I'm not going to be in this next year. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. You have to sign up for it. So that's all of the stitching. For my plans for this year, my plan is to have more space than stuff. I have too much stuff. I have stuff everywhere in all parts of my house. So I have already started purging. I spent one Saturday a couple weeks ago in my bedroom going through my clothing, and then last Sunday started purging in my craft room. And I have a carload of stuff that's going to the Union Gospel Mission today. So that needs to be, I need to print this out. That I want by the end of this year, hopefully within a few months, to have more space and stuff of my own. I can't control my husband. I'm looking behind there. He has way more stuff than space, but so that's my biggest plan for the new year, and to work on other crafts that I want to work on. I want to crochet. I bought some yarn to make a blanket for my daughter. I want to learn punch needle. I want to do some wool applique. I recently discovered diamond painting, and I have something to show you. And then paper crafting. I love to make books, and so I want to do all of those things, and it all takes time. The one craft that I tried, it's not fully finished yet, or I should say it's not finished yet. I tried needle felting, and I'm going to finish the little kit that I got, and I'll show it to you when it's done, but I don't know if it's something I need to pursue. I'm obsessed with diamond painting. I really like that. So, and let's see, what else? I'm not making any big stitching plans. I make plans and then I don't follow the plans, so I'm going to stitch what I want when I want, which is how I stitch anyway. I do have a picture that's a gift for my sister that I was going to finish 2 years ago that I haven't finished yet, and I do want to finish that this year. I also want to pull out things that are close to being done and finish them. And I want to stitch, I would like to stitch a Christmas ornament every month. We'll see if that happens. I don't know if it will happen or not. I'm going to finish Old St. Nick. That'll be my one for January. And my other goal is to not hold on to things I'm not using. That goes along with the purging. I am an excessive person. My personality by nature, I am excessive. I don't do anything halfway. I had 3 diamond painting kits, and then once I started one, it sent me down the rabbit hole of all the YouTube videos, which sent me down the rabbit hole of all the accessories and tools that I have to have. So thankfully they don't take up a lot of space. Right now all my diamond painting stuff fits in one tote bag, which is good. I think that was it for plans. Like I'm not making a lot of plans. I am taking a deep breath and trying to relax as much as I can. So here is my diamond painting finish. It's called Tiger and Butterfly. I can almost see the butterfly there, but not quite. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Finished him last night. This was about a 2-week thing. I worked on it just a little bit every day. This is so fun to do, which is weird because you're just putting little dots, little gems on a canvas, but also like cross stitch is so fun to do, and all you're doing is stitching little X's on a fabric. So this guy, I love him. And Amazon has frames that fit these. This guy is 30 by 30 centimeters, I want to say. And I think he's 9 by 9. So they have, I can get a frame from Amazon. On that picture, it just looks so pretty. So that is my newest craft, my newest obsession. I was going to show the yarn that I got to crochet for my daughter, and I forgot to bring it. So I'll show that in my next video. Hopefully it will have been started by then. I used to make blankets whenever friends had babies. I always crocheted baby blankets, and then I like to make lap blankets. So the last lap blanket I made for Amber, when it started to wear out, her dog took it and he wore it out, and so she doesn't have one anymore. So I want to make her another one. So I think that is it. I did show couple of things. Well, one thing that's not stitching at all. Only one, because the other things were stitch adjacent, I think, right? But I did show one thing that is not stitching. That's a different craft. So future videos should have more things that are not stitching in different kinds of crafts. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year and happy stitching.